count on WLEN, Lenawee's local news station, to keep you informed with accurate and dependable information 24 hours a day.
Hello, Lenawee County. My name is Brian Vish, and this is the WLEN Evening News. Let's get into it. A small SUV crashed into the Lenco Credit Union branch on US 223 in Madison Township around 10 o'clock yesterday morning. There were no injuries reported and no structural damage to the building was found. The branch was temporarily closed while contractors assessed the scene, but after determining everything was safe, including electronics and the glass panels, Lenco reopened and resumed normal business operations. Madison Township Police and fire crews responded to the scene. The Lenawee Historical Museum is beginning a review of its clothing collection to decommission damaged or duplicate items. Over the years, many garments were donated without clear historical ties to Lenawee County or arrived in poor condition. A small committee will sort through the collection, with some usable pieces offered to the Croswell Theater. Others may be donated to local charities or responsibly disposed of. The museum says the effort will help free up storage space and make room for new exhibits. Donors may be contacted regarding items marked for removal. The Lenawee County Board of Health received a detailed update on Wednesday about the latest COVID variant trends and vaccination rates. Medical Director Dr. Dennis Chernin said a new subvariant, NB.1.8.1, is now active and part of the Omicron family. Chernin addressed the board during its July 16th meeting in Adrian and said the current strain represents an antigenic drift, meaning the virus has changed slightly but remains covered by existing Omicron-based vaccines. He noted that only 23% of U.S. adults and 13% of children are receiving COVID vaccines at present. Most immunity now comes from a mix of prior infections and an earlier vaccine. He explained that COVID remains deadly, with approximately 500 deaths per month nationally, and urged continued protection for seniors and immunocompromised people. Chernin added that Paxlovid remains the most effective treatment. While not a cure, it helps suppress symptoms in vulnerable patients. Wastewater monitoring is now the primary method for tracking infections, as clinical testing and reporting have dropped significantly. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention no longer requires formal case reporting. Updated guidance now allows individuals to return to public settings 24 hours after symptoms resolve. Chernin said COVID is now considered endemic rather than pandemic, though global circulation continues. He encouraged ongoing caution and mask use in high-risk settings, especially during colder months when transmission may increase. United for Prevention and Recovery Lenawee has announced 2 public events in recognition of National Overdose Awareness Day, part of a continued effort to raise overdose awareness and support recovery efforts in Lenawee County. National Overdose Awareness Day is observed annually on August 31st to honor lives lost and promote substance use education. The events reflect United for Prevention and Recovery Lenawee's mission to prevent overdoses and reduce stigma through community partnerships. On Wednesday, August 13th, the Lenawee County Board of Commissioners will issue a formal proclamation at 1:30 p.m. in the Commission Chambers at 301 North Main Street in Adrian. The proclamation will officially recognize August 31st as Overdose Awareness Day in Lenawee County. The public is invited to attend. Then on Saturday, August 31st, the organization will host a memorial ribbon display on the lawn of the old county courthouse in downtown Adrian. The display will serve as a visual representation of lives impacted by overdose and a space for community reflection. The organization is a local coalition focused on prevention, education, and support for individuals and families affected by substance abuse. Organizers encourage residents to participate in both events and to learn more about local prevention and recovery services by contacting the Lenawee Community Mental Health Authority. Former NFL quarterback, best-selling author, and motivational speaker Tim Tebow will headline CPC of Lenawee's annual Fall Friends and Fundraiser on October 23rd at Adrian College's Dawson Auditorium. The event, hosted by the CPC of Lenawee Pregnancy and Family Resource Center, celebrates the nonprofit's growing impact on families across the county. CPC offers free services such as pregnancy testing, ultrasounds, parenting classes, mentorship for fathers, and material aid, all funded through community support. This year's program will include client testimonies, mission updates, and opportunities to contribute. Earlier that day, Tebow will also lead a special student gathering for youth and young adults aged 14 to 24 in the Adrian College Chapel, aimed at inspiring the next generation to lead with purpose and compassion. "We're honored to welcome Tim Tebow to Lenawee County," said Roxanne Meeks, Executive Director of CPC. "His message of purpose and hope speaks to people across generations, and we're looking forward to an unforgettable night." Tickets and sponsorship details are available at friendsofcpclenawee.com. That's friendsofcpclenawee.com, with early bird pricing available through September 1st. For questions, contact Megan Pippin at development@cpclenawee.com. In state news, a Canadian truck driver is in custody after state police seized over $1 million worth of cocaine during a traffic stop in Monroe County. The incident occurred Tuesday night around 9:15 p.m. when commercial vehicle enforcement officers at the northbound I-75 way station noticed a flatbed truck bypass the scales. Officers conducted a traffic stop near mile marker 15 in Frenchtown Township. The driver, a 26-year-old male from Ontario, consented to a search. Inside the trailer, officers found 4 U-Haul boxes containing 70 vacuum-sealed packages. Field tests confirmed the presence of cocaine. The driver was lodged at the Monroe County Jail on felony charges of possession with intent to deliver over 1,000 grams. WLEN has contacted the Michigan State Police for official comment. We will provide updates as they become available. The Monroe County Sheriff's Office Victim Services Unit is hosting a spaghetti fundraiser on Thursday, September 11th from 4 to 8 p.m. The event will take place at the Frenchtown Community Center, located at 2621 North Dixie Highway in Monroe. Adult tickets are $20, kids 10 and under are $10, and children 5 and under eat for free. Dinners include pasta, salad, bread, dessert, and drinks. All proceeds will support emergency assistance for crime victims and families affected by tragedy. Tickets are available at the Monroe County Sheriff's Office. The event will also feature raffle baskets and a card show, weather permitting. Sticking in Monroe, the Monroe County Sheriff's Office is partnering with Vital Core Health Strategies to host Domestic Violence Awareness Day at the Monroe County Fair on Wednesday, July 30th. Sheriff Troy Goodnow says the goal is to raise awareness about domestic violence, which continues to impact hundreds of local families each year. Between 2022 and mid-2025, Monroe County law enforcement has responded to over 3,800 domestic violence calls. Fair attendees are encouraged to wear purple on July 30th to show support for survivors. The Sheriff's Office will provide free purple armbands and T-shirts at the fair display while supplies last. The initiative will also be recognized with a public announcement in the grandstands prior to the evening rodeo. If you or someone you know needs help, please contact Monroe County Central Dispatch at 734-243-7070. The number is on the screen. Highland Copper is advancing key engineering milestones at its proposed Copperwood mine in Michigan's western Upper Peninsula while awaiting final approval of a $50 million grant from the Michigan Strategic Fund. The grant, previously halted twice by the Michigan Senate Appropriations Committee, remains under active consideration through late July. Highland Copper has also supported a parallel $50 million infrastructure funding request submitted through Wakefield Township. Company officials say only one of the two grants would be issued if approved. On July 2nd, the company announced it had awarded front-end engineering and design, or FEED, contracts to three firms: DRA Global for mine infrastructure, Foth Infrastructure and Environment for water systems, and Tetra Tech for the tailings facility. Phase 1 of the FEED process is expected to conclude in Q3, with detailed designs 85% complete by Q1 of 2026. In May, Highland completed a metallurgical drilling program to refine ore processing techniques, the Copperwood deposits near Porcupine Mountain State Park and Lake Superior, drawing environmental opposition. Company officials say a final investment decision could come in early 2026, pending funding, engineering completion, and permitting. Environmental groups continue lobbying lawmakers to reject public subsidies. In national news, President Donald Trump on Wednesday sharply criticized Republicans he dubbed his past supporters who continue to demand the release of the so-called Jeffrey Epstein files, calling them weaklings whose support he does not want. In a lengthy Truth Social post, Trump admonished those who continue to press for more information about documents related to Epstein, dismissing the uproar over the Epstein files as a scam perpetuated by Democrats, and suggested he no longer welcomed his backers who have called for more transparency around the documents. The Justice Department published a memo last month which stated there was no evidence of an incriminating client list, prompting criticism directed at Attorney General Pam Bondi over her handling of the case. The Justice Department and FBI issued in a joint memo that Epstein did not have a client list and confirmed he died by suicide in his New York jail cell in 2019. Epstein's associate, Ghislaine Maxwell, has been convicted of sex trafficking. However, several Republican members of Congress and other prominent Trump supporters are asking for transparency over the files. House Speaker Mike Johnson said during an interview with conservative commentator Benny Johnson, quote, "I'm for transparency. It's a very delicate subject, but we should put everything out there and let the people decide," end quote. And Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene said last week in a post on X that the DOJ should, quote, "release the Epstein client list," unquote. Epstein was accused in several cases of sex trafficking young girls and ran in high-powered circles with figures that included Trump, former President Clinton, Britain's Prince Andrew, and a number of other celebrities and ultra-wealthy individuals. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has fired two of his top aides at the Department of Health and Human Services, per CNN News. Neither Flick Melanson nor Anderson immediately responded to requests for comment. Heather Flick Melanson, Kennedy's Chief of Staff, and Hannah Anderson, Deputy Chief of Staff of Policy, were dismissed after only a few months on the job. No reason was given for the firings, though a statement provided by an HHS spokesperson said that Kennedy, quote, "has every right to make personnel decisions." Secretary Kennedy has made a leadership change within the immediate office of the Secretary. Effective immediately, Matt Buckham will serve as acting Chief of Staff. He brings valuable experience in personnel strategy and organizational management to this new role. Secretary Kennedy thanks the outgoing leadership for their service and looks forward to working closely with Mr. Buckham as the department continues advancing its mission to make America healthy again, unquote. Flick Melanson had served at HHS during President Donald Trump's first term, first as its acting general counsel and then as acting secretary for administration and as senior advisor to then HHS Secretary Alex Azar. Anderson joined HHS after stints on Capitol Hill as a GOP staffer, including as health policy advisor to Republicans on the Senate's Maine Health Committee. More recently, she headed up health care issues at the Trump-aligned America First Policy Institute think tank. Both Anderson and Flick Melanson had led Kennedy's immediate office alongside two other aides, Senior Counselor Stephanie Spear and Executive Secretary Courtney McCormick. Spear is a longtime aide to Kennedy. The new firings come after others have left the department in recent weeks, including Scott Rowell, who had served as the Deputy Chief of Staff for Operations. Rowell previously worked as a top-ranking HHS official during the first Trump administration. Let's take a look at the weather now here in Lenawee County. Tonight, expect partly to mostly cloudy skies through the evening hours. Temperatures will gradually fall from 79 degrees at 5 p.m. to around 69 degrees by 11 p.m. Winds will shift from the west-northwest at 10 miles per hour to a calmer north breeze around 5 miles per hour. Rain chances remain low, just 1 to 4%, so it should stay dry throughout the evening. On Friday, it'll be mostly cloudy day with a high near 79 degrees. Winds will be light out of the east at 5 miles to 10 miles per hour. Humidity stays moderate through the day and rises into the evening. Overnight, expect continued cloud cover and a low near 66 with calm southeast winds. Rain chances remain minimal. Looking ahead, Saturday, we have a high of 84, low of 68. Expect afternoon thunderstorms with a 47% chance of rain. Winds out of the south-southwest at 8 miles per hour. Sunday, 81 with a low of 61, partly cloudy and drier with only 24% chance of rain and a north breeze at 7 miles per hour. Monday, a high of 81, low of 62. Another partly cloudy day with slight rain chances around 15% and east winds at 8 miles per hour. Tuesday, 85 with a low of 68. Expect morning showers with a 36% chance of precipitation and winds from the southeast at 8 miles per hour. And here's the 96.5 The Cave Sports Update. In 9 to 11-year-old softball, Clinton won the district championship after winning 2 consecutive games against Plymouth Canton. Scores were not posted online. Clinton will now travel to Sparta Little League for the state finals. Their first game will be Friday, July 25th at 11 a.m. With younger divisions, they have an opportunity to send the runner-up to the state finals if the tournament host would like for them to attend. District 9 Administrator John Edgerly asked that Plymouth Canton be allowed to move on. Their game will be Friday, July 25th at 2 p.m. In the 9 to 11-year-old baseball, Tecumseh defeated Plymouth Canton 14-0 to force a second game in the championship series. They will have the rematch tonight at 6 p.m. In 8 to 10-year-old baseball, Tecumseh American bested Tecumseh National 9-3. Plymouth Canton American defeated Hudson 4-1. Up next, Ash Carleton versus Lenawee Christian. Winner to play Hudson on Friday. Clinton versus Blitzfield National, and the winner there will play Tecumseh National on Friday. And that's it for the WLEN Evening News. I'll see you tomorrow, Lenawee. Have a great evening.
Count on WLEN, Lenawee's local news station, to keep you informed with accurate and dependable information 24 hours a day.